All right. Welcome to another episode of The Hedge with Double D.
The Hedge with Double D.
All right. I got Dylan joining me for the recap. Normally I do this by myself, but Dylan, glad to have you. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, bro. I had to step out. I'm in my work office,
I
so
like it.
working pleasure.
Nice. Um, so yeah, working the second job now.
Of course, working. Yeah, I got us work, to support my gambling. First, I'm not that profitable. I'm just kidding. No,
Uh,
man, it's good. Thanks for having me, bro. I'm
uh,
excited to talk about some sports with you.
of course, man. So last game, we'll go ahead and jump into it. Last game, the Nuggets and the Lakers last night. The Lakers were winning for most of the game, it felt like. And then all of a sudden, fourth quarter, kind of Jamal Murray really took over. I think it said he had 23 in the fourth quarter, so it really took over in the late, and the Nuggets kind of took over late there and really took control of the series now. Up 2-0, obviously,
Yeah,
as the cliche goes, it doesn't start till an away team wins, but 2-0 is pretty big for these late game
yeah.
series. So now the Lakers have to defend home court. What well, before we get into it though, let me go ahead and share my screen. I know the most important thing everyone wants to see. Let's see the picks. Let's see how we did. Unfortunately, we didn't have
Oh, please don't show it.
we didn't have the best night.
Don't show mine.
So that's gonna happen though. We're gonna have some
It's all
off.
right. We can't be perfect.
Exactly. We'll have some off nights here and there. We lost about 3 units last night in total because luckily Colin saved us. But again, one win with Colin, but it was a parlay, so it was a little bit of extra money there. But of course, he had the Reeves 2+3s in there. I mean, I swear that's hit every single time. We need to just put everything on that from now on, because Reeves has been
Yeah, man.
unstoppable.
Yeah, Reeves is big. We gotta ride that Reeves train until the wheels fall off, man. That guy has been killing it.
Dude, he has, and I mean, last night he was maybe arguably their best player. I mean, he had the most points
Yeah,
along the
he
way.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean that the honor roll. I mean, I don't know if you consider him a role player. I mean, I guess he's going to be considered differently after this year.
yeah.
I mean, he could be. Like I said, I made a joke about it, having kind of that Taylor Parsons vibe of having a really good thing, getting signed to a big deal, and then who knows. Um, but yeah, man. I think Reeves has been playing great, and obviously, I mean, he's been definitely very important on this run. So.
Yeah. Um, yeah, whether we call him a role player or not, I think after this playoffs, he's going to get paid like he's not a role player. He's going to get paid starter money big time.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. But they're gonna need him to keep playing like that at home. They're gonna need LeBron and AD to step back up. AD had his down game, his up game, down game. So that was a down game, and I would imagine he steps it up again for next game. But again, as we're looking at the picks here, a lot of them were really close. So it wasn't like we did terrible. Like the LeBron 41.5. If you go and look at the stats and do the quick little math there, he had 41. So he was a half stat, whatever you want to call it, a half, point, rebound, or assist away from hitting that. Dylan, didn't you say Jokic had 52 total?
52 on the combo, yeah.
Yeah, man. So he was 1.5, whatever
Sahara
away.
on that.
And then the Nuggets, as you can see, Dylan had the Nuggets -5.5. They
We'll be
won.
back on that though. I think
Yeah, exactly. You can't
it was 5 points. Yeah.
exactly. So he was half point off on that. I mean, a lot of close stuff. So, and then mine, Murray went off in the fourth quarter, so that ruined my parlay there. And then AD didn't even score enough. So that was just, I wasn't very close, I'll admit. But otherwise, and then Schroeder couldn't get 4 more points for me to hit the other parlay. So just a little stuff here and there that hit us. So next time maybe we'll get a little bit of luck there, and some of those will hit, I imagine. But real quick, let's look at our totals again. If you scroll up to the top here, again, remember our units won. We still up over 8 units. So again, that's about 82, 83 bucks there. So can't complain. Still up pretty big.
Nice.
Yeah. Still doing good. We'll stop sharing here. So again, still doing well. Had an off night last night, a little. But again, man, the Nuggets they keep rolling. They're undefeated at home so far. Also, the Lakers are undefeated at home. So technically this is how it should go, I guess. But I mean,
Well, Lakers are favored by 5.5 on this next one. So I mean, they're not expecting anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a look ahead. That's on Saturday. I'm sure we'll talk about that later. But it's interesting.
It is.
And I would just lean towards the Nuggets. It's closer, but I don't know. You never know.
Yeah. I mean, if they do win, I feel like the series is over. Lakers aren't coming back from 3-0 and then going to win 2 in Denver.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then, but.
No, yeah. This is do or die for the Lakers. I think this game they have to win.
Yeah.
Is my internet? I'm sorry. Hold on, Dawson.
No, you're good. It's a little skippy, but we're working with it. Oh, there you are.
Hey, sorry about that.
You're good.
Sorry.
Okay, we'll cut that out. So we're having a little we're having a little internet issues, but that's okay. We're powering through. No worries here. Did anything in particular really stand out to you last night, whether Lakers or Nuggets? Was there one player who really showed up?
Yeah, Jamal Murray, man.
Jamal Murray, yeah.
I don't know if you mentioned it, but yeah, at the end of the game there, Jamal Murray came in. We were looking for a big game out of him. I predicted a big game out of him. I think a couple games ago when they were playing in Denver, and it didn't come out then, but it's coming out now. I mean, if they're going to win a championship, I think Jamal Murray is going to have to drop 30, especially when they're playing at home. Mm-hmm. So I will be looking for that to happen again. Now, maybe not this next game, but again, we'll talk about that down the road. Yeah, man, but he was impressive. And I think him, getting scoring kind of took the pressure off Jokic, so he didn't hit his combo, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree. I think if they're going to win not only this series, but the championship, Murray's got to be the third best player on the court. It's obviously Jokic is going to be number 1, I think, no matter who's playing. And then it's got to be, either AD and then Murray, or in the next series, it's going to have to be like Jimmy and then Murray, or Tatum, whoever wins that series, and then Murray. But he's got to be that third best player on the court. Because the rest of their role players they're gonna each have big games here and there, but no one else is gonna be as consistent as Murray.
No way. And who's really impressive is again, we're gonna talk about SEC guy, Michael Porter Jr. I think he had another good game. I mean, it was like 15 points.
Yep.
So I like him. I'm gonna like looking at his totals. I think he's gonna continue to exceed expectations, just because he is so athletic. And Aaron Gordon has kind of looked a little like he's kind of taking a little step back. And Porter forward. And I know those guys are kind of the two. They're usually right there, 14, 15 a game. So anyway, these Porters kind of led that. But Nuggets look good. I mean, they obviously won pretty 2 close games, but they didn't look, as close in the first game until the end. Second game, they come back and just take care of business. So nothing, no qualms about what the Nuggets got going on right now. I mean, they're in the driver's seat for sure.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And they didn't even shoot that well. Like Michael Porter shot over 50% or 50%, over 50 on threes, but I shot about 36 from 3, but the Lakers shot 26%. So neither team really shot that great, and that kind of speaks to, I feel like you said earlier, it was a little bit slower pace almost. The under hit pretty easily.
Pretty easy, yeah.
And you think they're both going to shoot a little better, but especially at home, you got to think the Lakers are going to shoot way better.
Yeah, for sure.
The role players you'd think are definitely going to start hitting their threes. Even LeBron was 0 for 6. He's not a great 3-point shooter by any means, but you'd imagine he'll at least shoot slightly better than that.
I mean, he should have 1 out of 6.
Exactly. At least 1.
That's slightly better.
Yeah, it can change the game. 1 more 3 can totally change it. But And then he would have hit his over on the points, and we would have had more money. So
Come on, 1-3 LeBron. Come on. We'll be looking for that one next time.
Yes. So again, it's still going to be a very exciting series, I think. I don't see the Lakers laying down. I see them winning. I kind of see them just going back and forth. But I wouldn't be surprised if Denver does steal one in LA, and then that's basically, to me, the series is going to be over at that point, because I don't see the Lakers winning more than one in Denver, if any. They're just so dominant in Denver. The Nuggets, that is.
Yeah. For sure, man. They don't. I don't see them dropping. I mean, have they lost one game in the playoffs yet at home? I don't know.
Not at home. No,
you know that.
No, they have not. The Nuggets
undefeated.
haven't. The Lakers haven't either, and neither have the Heat. The only team we talked about last night, actually, the only team that's lost at home is the Celtics, and they are 11-12 now at home in the playoffs, which is crazy. So
that's wild, man. I mean, golly, so you're gonna have to expect Celtics to do some good work on the road. I mean, I guess they like working on the road. It's been necessary.
Yeah, dude. It's like, even though they're the better team on the court on paper, they just don't seem to like try as hard as they need to until their backs are against the wall, and they've got to win game 6 on the road. Excuse me, game 4 on the road, So not a recipe for championship success, though.
Yeah. I agree, man. Definitely looking shaky. They're not the favorite. I don't know if they're still the favorite. I think obviously coming into this, I think the playoffs, they were one of the favorites.
Yeah.
Celtics. And I think the Nuggets have definitely overtaken them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Nuggets overtook them, and now they definitely have. Now that they're up 2-0 and the Celtics are down.
There's no question.
Yeah.
It'd be a good time to get some value on a Celtics future, honestly. Yeah. I bet that those are probably a lot higher now, and they could definitely turn around. I mean, they're not done.
I think so too. I think, honestly, I don't know exactly what it is, but them to win it all is definitely going to be, I don't know. I'd be interested to see. I'm going to look that up real quick, because I bet you, I wouldn't be surprised if they're still favored to win the series. Let's see here. Oh, wait, I'm at the wrong thing. So if I look here on DraftKings, I'm going to go all the way over and look at the playoff series props. Okay. Celtics are still minus 210 here to win the series, which is kind of surprising.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. So they still have, Vegas still loves the Celtics. You can even get.
Oh, Vegas doesn't want, I don't know. They're just tempting us to take the Heat again. I mean, that seems like 1-0 up with a road win, and they're not favored.
Yeah.
So that tells me a little bit about tonight's game, what they're expecting.
Yes, they're definitely, dude, even the spread's like -9 or something. Like, they're definitely expecting the Celtics to win. So if you were going to take the Celtics to win the series, basically before the game tonight's the time to do it. And if you want to take the Heat, maybe even the Heat plus 1.5 games, it seems like the smart bet would be wait until they lose tonight and then take it. There's a lot of things I think you can do right now. I mean, the Celtics being down but still being favored, it's like, that's odd, but it makes sense at the same time. Now, if they lose tonight, oh man,
wow, we're going to be in a whole different game. They're going to have to do some serious road work,
especially with the Heat. I mean, the culture or whatever, but Jimmy Butler in particular, I feel like if he smells blood, if he goes up 2-0 going home, it might. I mean, they could take him down in 5. It's just one of those like, whew. I would not want to go down going home to Miami with Jimmy Butler playing like he is. That's a scary proposition.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, we're getting a little bit into tonight's game. So let's go ahead and end our review here. And we'll come back a little bit later. We'll talk Knicks Celtics tonight. We'll make the official picks. We'll make a little money and redeem ourselves. All right. Thanks for staying with us. Welcome back to the Hedge with Double D.
The Hedge with Double D.
Snuck up on me. Talking to my sounder. Before we get so a little bit later here, Colin is going to join me, and we're going to make our picks for tonight's game. So right now I'm going to go ahead. Dylan's going to make his official picks for tonight's game, and then we'll take a quick break before Colin joins us. So the spread tonight is -9.5 in favor of the Celtics. And the over/under is 215. So Celtics are favored very heavily here. And we'll talk about that later with me and Colin. But Dylan, I'll go ahead and let you take the floor. What are you thinking for tonight's game?
Well, coming off a devastating on 3 yesterday, got to get something going. I got to get back in it. So I got 2 picks tonight, and I think that we talked about it a little earlier, but the Celtics still being favored to win this series at minus 210, and this spread at 9.5. The Heat are a mature team. I think that was a huge win, game 1. Celtics has obviously struggled at home during the playoffs. They've been one of the few teams that have, but I do think that this is going to be a long series, and I think they're going to get it done tonight. So I'm looking for a big game from Brown. He's been playing well. Tatum did play well last game. Brown did as well, but I'm looking for a 30-point game out of Brown. I think both Tatum and Brown go for probably around 30 tonight. Celtics do win this one handily. So my official picks tonight, I'm picking for Jaylen Brown over 24.5 points.
Okay.
That's minus 110. And then I'm also going to take the 9.5 points. I'm hoping for a slow Bam game. I know we've seen him kind of turn it up, but maybe he'll slow down. Brogdon's been getting it going for the Celtics. I'm just hoping that this is we've done well. Maybe that the Celtics get off to an early start.
Mm.
The Heat say, hey, we've been dominant. We don't need to expend our energy here. And again, these are professional athletes, but professionals pick their spots. Beat up 1-0. They do need to expend their energy appropriately. So that being said, try to get back on the good foot. Just 2 picks tonight, but it's Boston minus 9.5 and Jaylen Brown over 24.5.
All right, I like it. And I agree. They can pick their spots, especially like a veteran team that's led by a guy named like Jimmy Butler, who's been around for a while and he knows how it goes. He knows it's going to be a long series.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure that they would love to get the win here. I'm not saying they're not going to come out and play hard, but again, that it's going to be a lot dictated about the first 6 to 12 minutes of this game. Depending on, I think, which direction. If the Celtics get out to a big, 5 to 6, maybe 10-point lead in the first early part of the game, I could definitely see the Heat saying, well, let's get home and, get back where we want to be. So.
Now here's a question, Dylan. We can't bet on it, but if the Heat go on a 10-0 run, is Missoula going to call a timeout?
Missoula will not call a timeout. This guy, hey, you never know what this guy's going to do. I mean, he is. It sucks to be, coming to that kind of situation. I think as a coach, because they're so developed and they're so good, and the expectations are championship for him. But he's in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's just he's under so much scrutiny. So, let's see what happens. I think he would call a timeout. Maybe somebody put that in his ear, but I don't. We haven't seen it yet.
Maybe the fans behind him, he'll finally listen to them yelling at him. Yeah.
Coach! You can see him there.
Yeah. Even even the announcers are telling him, So.
Yeah, I'm excited for this game.
We're dogging on him a lot. Yeah.
I know. It's fun, we can do better is what we're trying to say. So
Thank you. Yes. And we could do better for much less money,
Yeah, I'll do it for free. Come on, just give me some exposure.
Nice. All right, man. Well, thank you for joining me again. Dylan's got Jaylen Brown to score at least 25, and he's got the Celtics covering the spread. I think those are good picks. They came off the game 7. Maybe they were rusty in the first game, and you'd think they're going to turn it on this game. So I feel confident in those picks too.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you having me, Dawson. I'll try to get back in the green, and let's make some money.
All right, y'all. All right. Well, there's Dylan's picks. We'll be right back. Colin's going to join us, and we'll make our picks. So, see you, Dylan.
See you, brother.
All right. Welcome back to the Hedge with Double D.
The Hedge with Double D.
All right. Thanks for sticking around with us. Colin is joining us. Thank you for joining me, Colin.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Let's go ahead and just jump right into tonight's game. Let's talk Heat. Let's talk Celtics. We'll save some golf talk for the weekend. Y'all can all check our bets. You can check the scores, see how you're doing. But it's only one round, so we'll save a little bit till later. So Heat Celtics tonight. We were talking earlier. We were basically, not to put it too bluntly, but we were basically saying Spoelstra is out-coaching Missoula big time. One thing we noticed was the third quarter, Missoula just didn't call a timeout. He should have. They got blown away. It was like 45 to 20 something. I mean, it was just, there were the TV timeouts that we thought maybe saved him. But then compared to how the fourth quarter, Celtics went on a little run, Spoelstra called a timeout like that. It just like simple things like we were saying, like, not that Missoula's a bad coach. I'm not going to say he's bad, but maybe he's just not, I don't know. Maybe this is a little, I don't know. He's in over his head for the first year being this deep into the playoffs. I don't know. But it just, it just seems like stuff when you're watching TV and you're saying, call timeout. What are we doing? Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, that third quarter, not calling a timeout, and then it's just so many mistakes, technical mistakes, so many different turnovers, whether that was Jaylen Brown not properly dribbling and once again, losing the ball or throwing it into traffic, whether that's Tatum, Smart, Jaylen Brown again as well. It's just, they have not been the most technically sound team, but they're the most talented team. You expect with the talent that they should be in the finals and have a pretty good shot to win it all. And we do got to remember this is, game one. So let's see what happens. But man, did the Jimmy freaking Butler.
Yeah. I mean, just taking over again. And you made a good point when you're saying throwing the ball into the passing lanes. It's almost like my cat's trying to get out, so I'm hold up. Uh-oh. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
This is live, people. This is live. Oh, that's fantastic.
Those sneaky little cats. I'm in my garage. I'm in my man cave in the garage here. So we've got the cat litter boxes out here with me. So it's crazy. So
honestly, for two Packers fans, the fact that we have both not mentioned anything about the Packers when we're solo it's a surprise. We may get there. Who knows?
We need to. Let me stop. All right. Jordan Love. Let's go.
People, we're going to take you through every single week for the next 17 weeks. Get ready.
We're going to have a separate show every week for just the Packers. Yeah. Yes. So if you don't like the Packers, going back to NBA. My goodness.
Oh, man.
I know.
Dawson, do you think that how scary is that line tomorrow with the Celtics laying 9 points? I mean, we already learned our lesson once. I mean,
exactly, dude. That's one of those. Hold up. I gotta just close my garage. My cat's going crazy here.
Let him free. Fly famous mockingbird.
I'll let her stay out here with me, but we can't let her get outside. All right. Sorry, y'all. Maybe we'll cut it out. Maybe we won't. This is a fun personal.
I say keep it in.
You can see all the what's it called? The boils, the something in boils or whatever.
Warts and all.
Warts and all. Thank you, boils. On a bad day. Warts and all. So yes, that 9 points is scary because man, it's too much. You're never gonna take the money line with that when it's gonna be like -5 or -400. And yeah, 9 points is a lot to take. I mean, I think the smart play is to buy some points on the Heat side, and y'all maybe that'll be part of my pick tonight. But
we got a tease.
But yes, I feel like even if the Celtics win, I don't see them blowing out the Heat. The only time the Heat got blown out was that it was game 2 at Milwaukee, but it was when Milwaukee shot like lights out, which Milwaukee can do.
Yeah,
I thought they'd do more than they did.
Yeah,
but I don't see the Celtics doing that, honestly. Especially
it's going to be tough. I mean, I think the big thing is like you'd feel really dumb if you took like the Celtics like spread and then lost again.
Yes.
Whereas if you took the Miami plus points, you at least, even if you lose, if they do get, the doors get blown off, you're like, well, I was betting on Jimmy Butler. So
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll be in the game longer, at least. You still have that chance that maybe they'll
cut it exactly.
Yeah. But one thing I was gonna get to, but then a boo here messed me up. We talking about the passing lanes. That's something I noticed when they were playing the Bucks, when they were playing the Knicks. The Heat are all over that middle passing lane. If you get the ball in the corner, don't throw it to the top of the key or don't throw it to some guy cutting down the lane. Bams covers the whole half court. Jimmy's always in there. They're such a good defensive team, and they're always playing those lanes. And I think that goes back to coaching. I think you gotta make sure your players know that. And if they start doing it during the game, call timeout. Tell them, remind them, hey, stop this. Don't do this. They're really good at intercepting the ball and getting those breakaways.
It's like they did it with the Milwaukee. I mean, they were clogging up the lanes and getting like good transition buckets, whether that was Vincent or, whatever, anybody sleeping pretty much.
Seriously. Yeah, exactly. And it wasn't just Jimmy and Bam, it's the whole team. Like they are culture. It's a thing. And like, I don't know how many times Julius Randle threw it away. Like and then of course, he's head down as they go down for a dunk, So
I think he's going to be interesting if next year, if he asks for a trade, tries to get out of there.
Maybe he could be one of our, maybe whale's not the right word. He could be, like a
disgruntled superstar.
Yes. Maybe not a whale, but like dolphin hunting, something like that. But he could be one of those trades that he turns into the number 3 on a team and really helps him out or something. Or to try to be like the number 1 or 2 and just turns into one of those.
He wants to be the number 1. Exactly. He thinks he's the number 1.
He could be one of those guys on a bad team that gets all the stats,
Send him to Houston. They love him.
Exactly. And I never, if a player wants to do that, I'm all for it. I get it. Go get your stats, go get your money. I feel like, do you? I can't knock that at all, honestly.
I can knock it. I knock it, and I will knock it constantly.
Well, it's exactly. I guess it's all about. But that's one thing. I don't know if it's our generation or just the media is all about. Like, you have to win championships or you're a failure.
Yeah.
And in my eye, yes, if it's but that's the difference. In the NFL, I have a team I follow. It's the Packers. And yeah, go Pack, go baby. Let's go. So it is for me. It's like we got to win championships. That's what it's all about. In the NBA, I don't have a team as much as I follow players. So I feel like I'm less about like, well, go win a championship. I'm more just like, I want to see you play well. I want to see you go deep in the playoffs. But it's so hard to win a championship.
It's tough. It's tough. I mean, it's complicated, and it is going to be interesting. Like, now Jokic is at that point where he's got to make obviously he is making a run, but like, that means a lot, and that's going to put him in an entirely different light. I mean, this Butler stretch already, regardless if they lose, that's going to put him in an even higher category than he was before. I mean, it's unbelievable what he's doing.
Exactly. And he is kind of transcending the idea of like, even if he doesn't win, he'll still be up there. But if he does win, woo, that's going to be, he's going to all of a sudden be in like a top 10 of everybody's list.
Yeah.
Great.
And to that point, like Embiid, like, great, you won your MVP now, but once again, you're out in the second round. So I don't think I think the margin of error is a lot, smaller next year. It's like, hey, put up or shut up kind of thing.
Exactly, dude. Yeah. Because you win all your individual accolades, but you gotta, if you don't win a championship, is it all for naught? I don't think it is, but it looks bad on your resume. Takes a big hit for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, getting it back into tonight's game before we veer too far off. Like we were saying, that plus that -9 is so much. I don't even feel confident saying I think the Celtics are going to win. Like, we talked about this before we started recording. The Celtics are 11-11 for home playoff games this playoffs, and every other team is undefeated at home. Just like a crazy difference. The Celtics only seem to it's like when they have to win, when their backs are against the wall, is like when the only time they really show up, which is not a formula to win. Like you can't always show up when you have to. But
I differ. I do think that the Celtics are going to win tonight. And it has to do with can Brown, play really well? Can Tatum play really well? And just because we already know the coaching is the coaching. You're not going to beat Spoelstra on the X's and O's, but you've got the better players. You are more talented. And it's just frustrating that the Celtics have been doing this all year. Just dumb, they'll just have dumb games where they play like crap. And then one thing that I did see on the stats, I'm not sure if you saw this or not, but it was on essentially the Miami shot quality and what they were supposed to get and what they actually did get. And they were literally 18 points higher than their shot quality, would suggest. So I find that pretty interesting. I'm curious if that's going to continue, but I do think that the Celtics get it done tomorrow, even it up.
That's something else we did. We talked about a little where we said the Heat shot over 50% from three. That can't happen again. There were a couple that shouldn't have gone in. That one from Jimmy late in the fourth quarter that he just it bounced and then dropped in. It was just oh my God, yeah.
Into the shot clock. I love it.
Dude, it was just quintessential, Jimmy hitting the shot they needed to hit that shouldn't have gone in. Yeah. But
what's his name? The announcer, shouting Jimmy freaking Butler. That was pretty sweet.
Yes.
Is it Kevin Harlan? Why am I forgetting his name?
It was TNT last night. It could have been. I can't remember. It's either Kevin Harlan.
It's the guy that's with Reggie Miller.
I was gonna say it's either Reggie Miller or yeah.
I think it's Kevin.
I think it is too. Take a quick second. Reggie Miller and Kevin Harlan. Yep. All right. But yeah, I think we've talked enough about it. I feel like people kind of know we're definitely not confident on the Heat. I did actually lie about my teaser. I'm not going to take their points. But I'm definitely not picking the Celtics to win. If I had to pick a spread, I'd probably take the Heat points just because it's so many points at 9. But I'm going to stay away from it. I'm going to stay with player props. So in that vein, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's get to our official picks for tonight.
I like it.
Let's do it. I'll go first since I'm all on it. Like I said, I don't think the Heat are going to shoot as well as they did last night, which leads me to say I mean, Jimmy's going to have a good game, but I don't think he's going to go off again. I think the Celtics are going to do everything they can to stop him. Put the double teams on him, which means he'll have to pass it more. And I'm hoping that means he's going to kick it out to
Strus.
Maybe
I was going to ask you, so I've literally been hovering around this, Strus over 2.5 threes, and it was looking pretty crispy. So
I like that. If you give me, I'll filibuster for a second. But what's Caleb Martin's 2.5 threes? I bet that's really juicy. And that's honestly who I might like more.
I like, I like where your head's at.
If you look at the shots,
okay. And you've already his over 1.5 Caleb Martin is plus 128. So
wow, just to hit 2 is plus 128. Okay.
Yeah.
That might be where I'd go because they both made 3-pointers, but Caleb Martin shot 7 and Strus shot 5. So obviously Strus had a better percentage, but that means they're letting Caleb Martin open more. They're leaving him to take those threes. Maybe that means he's in the game more when there aren't, as the other 3-point shooters aren't in. So I think and with 2, I think that's definitely the safer bet. I think the 2 with the plus 128 is where I'd go. But I think I'd only pick one of them because I think even though last night everybody had 15 points, all the role players, that doesn't happen a lot on the road where everyone's hitting 3 out of 5 threes or whatever. Like that's just a crazy percentage. So I like what you're saying, but yeah, I think I'd go Caleb Martin there.
All right, I like that. Listen up, people. Caleb Martin.
All right, listen. And we not only listen, but do you agree with us or not? Don't just trust us. But I think we had a pretty good logic there. I think that makes sense. But again, let me get back to mine. I'm not using Caleb Martin. I'm not using Strus. I do think Jimmy, but I think Kyle Lowry is going to have another good game.
Okay.
He had a good game last night, especially in the first half. He really blew up. And then quieted down a little in the second half, but still had 15 points, still shot really well. I think he was like 50% shooting, and then like 60% on threes. So I'm just going to stick with his points. I'm going to say Kyle Lowry gets over 9.5 points. And then, like I said, I think Jimmy's going to go under 29.5. So I'm still getting high points with him. I don't think he's going to have a bad game. I just think 30 points is a lot to do twice in a row.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take Bam. I'm still going to ride Bam under. I got to keep going. So I'm going to ride Bam under again at 19.5. He had 20 last game. 22 games in a row is a lot for him. So I'm going to take, and I do think, with this, obviously it looks like I'm thinking the Celtics are going to win, but I just don't think it's worth adding like a Celtics money line. It only adds like $7 to it. So it's just one of those like not worth it. So I'm going to stick. I like my odds where I am. I've got my 3 picks. I'm going to say Jimmy under 29.5, Bam under 19.5, Lowry under 9.5, and that gives you plus 350.
Okay. I like it.
All right. Well, that's me. Colin, talk us through your picks. What are you thinking?
Yeah, so I do have the Celtics winning, and you hit the nail on the head, and the money line is minus 400 right now at FanDuel, so it's just not a lot of value, even if you'd have to package it with a bunch of stuff in order to really jump up there. But I've had a tough betting week, betting against the Heat with the Celtics and then the Knicks prior to that. But I'm doubling down. My brain still knows that the Celtics are better. The Heat will lose tomorrow, so I'm going to be betting a couple different things. I've got a three-way parlay of Horford over 1.5 threes, plus Jaylen Brown alternate over 18.5 points, plus Jason Tatum alternate over 28.5 points.
All right.
And that's going to be plus 288. We're betting big.
Nice. Okay. I like that. And remember, y'all, if you're doing that's on FanDuel. If you do it on DraftKings, if you only do one of these 2 bets, you'll get your bet back because they're both 3-leg parlays. So just something to think about. But yeah, plus 288. I like that. I think the Brown bet is a very safe bet.
Yeah.
I think Horford is pretty good too. I think the Tatum one is the one where you're like, maybe, but I feel like he's gonna keep putting it on his shoulders after that.
Yeah, you just gotta hope that he gets 31 and they get it. Because I think that the Heat are so good on a half court offense. I don't think like necessarily the under would bode better for the Celtics than it would the Heat.
And I like this. So you're going all Celtics. I'm going all Heat players. That's all I like.
Yeah. I threw the Horford in. I was really just feeling, I was feeling Austin Reeves, ice water in my veins through it. So let's just go. Why not?
Should we both put our names? We'll just do one bet. You want to both put our names on Caleb Martin, or are you going to pick Strus?
You take the Caleb Martin. I'm off of Strus.
All right. I'll keep it growing then. So Caleb Martin over 1.5 threes. You said that was 128, right?
Yeah, I think that's an awesome bet. I would take that bet, but that's your baby.
All right, I'll take it. All right, Colin. And yeah, I'm not going to put that as a bonus. That's too low odds for a bonus for me. Okay. So yeah, so do you have anything else before I move on?
No.
All right. One thing I did want to mention, we talked about I feel like I like the Tatum. Dylan's too late to join us. It looks like he just texted me. But I like the Tatum to get points. I feel like he had such a bad ending to the fourth quarter. He's gonna want to, he's either gonna want to prove himself and do really well, or he's gonna just go 1 for 10 again in the first half or something.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's gonna be better. And again, I feel like that comes down to coaching. Like we were saying, at the end of the game, the Heat, they had plays they were running, or at least they had sets where they all knew where to be, where the ball was going to be going. And the Celtics were just like isolation plays / just hold it until the end and throw it and give it to Jaylen Brown or Tatum and hope they do something in the last 5 seconds of the shot clock.
Yeah.
Tatum traveled twice trying to do that. It just looked like chaotic for them. Or they'd kick it to the corner and then throw it in the middle and get it intercepted.
Right.
Like you gotta, I don't know. And once again, I feel like coaching, you gotta settle them down, call timeout, draw a play up or something,
Yeah, I'm curious if we're gonna see a little bit more of Derek White tonight.
Yeah, I like that. I could see that. He had a good game and he hasn't been playing much since the Hawks series, which he was really good in also. So.
And honestly, I bet if you if you're betting, whoever out there is betting on the Celtics, if betting on the points and stuff like that, the player points, you might as well throw in the over as well, because that's honestly what I probably should have done.
Yeah.
But, hey, we're locked in and we're not going back.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, the bets are locked in. We're changing it now. Remember though, check the sheet up till game time. Sometimes, especially me, I get a little frisky. I put a bonus bet in there right before game time. It hits me and I like it. So I did that with tonight, aka last night's game, with the Lakers. I just put an extra bonus bet in there for the Lakers to cover 5.5, Russell to not score a lot, and for Schrader to score 8 points. So we'll see what happens,
He's dancing.
You get excited. All of a sudden it's coming up. You're like, oh man, look at all these odds. Look at all these options. and of course, like I know I mentioned it a lot, but with DraftKings, with the bonus bets, it's fun when you're like, well, I mean, I've already lost $10. We'll see if I can win 40 or 50 back, and then I can run it back for, and then I'm safe for another 4 or 5 bets.
Yes.
Live to bet another day.
That's right.
All right. Yeah. Well, we'll go ahead and end it here. We had fun tonight. Listen to what we said. See if you like it. Make those bets. Don't forget to hedge. Let's make some money. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Go Celtics.
All right. Go see y'all.